Welcome back. I think we're talking with someone who's got the longest title I've ever seen, and we were just told
we need to break it up.
We do need to break it up a little bit.
Break it up a little bit.
You want to help me with it?
Oh, let's give it a shot. It's Task Force Daggers with an Ozark Fishing Adventure benefiting for wounded warriors.
That is correct.
There we go. And with us to talk about that is Jimbo Blakeslee.
Blakeslee.
Are
you going to get that right yet?
I'm not.
Nobody ever does. I don't take it personal.
What kind of name is Blakeslee?
It's English.
Just an English name.
English.
Okay.
Actually, yeah.
It's probably common over there, like Smith or Jones.
Probably.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this event. How did it get started? We've never heard about it. So
it's this is the first time that the event is taking place here in the Twin Lakes area, and it came about in a rather unique meeting. My wife and I went to a little mom and pop restaurant up in Pontiac, Missouri, and it's called As the Lake Turns. And while we were eating breakfast, we were approached by Paul and Carol Sturgeon, owners of the Lost Cove Resort. I had on a Wounded Warriors t-shirt, and Paul had served a contract tour in Iraq. And he came up and he asked me if I would be able to help him bring some Wounded Warriors into the area because he and his wife were interested in donating their resort as a means to reside these individuals in a way of saying thanks.
And this was in the Missouri area?
And this was just in Pontiac, just above state line, right up above state line. Right. And so I am a retired Special Forces soldier, and I keep in touch with my guys, the guys that I served with, and I have several of them that started the Task Force Daggers Foundation. So I contacted Keith David at the Task Force Daggers Foundation and asked him if he would help us procure some wounded warriors from the special operations community to come up here and fish for a couple days.
Oh,
so that's how it's got started.
So this is making a lot of sense to me now.
That was last Thanksgiving. So we've been working on this since last Thanksgiving. It's been a lot of blood, a lot of sweat, a lot of tears, a lot of work. And it's coming together very, very well. The community response has been overwhelming. We have 4 full days of therapeutic fishing recreation for these wounded warriors in an attempt to help them speed the healing process along. So
and fishing is a great therapeutic way to recover, isn't it not?
And we have the best fishing in Middle America here. So
what are some of the guys that are and females that are coming down here? What kind of injuries do you know of? Any injuries that they have?
I can tell you that we don't have any severe injuries. All of the individuals that are coming are well into the healing stages. I know I have 1 amputation below the knee. I have a couple traumatic brain injuries that are in recovery stages. I have some traumatic contusion injuries and stuff like that, some shrapnel wounds. Injuries sustained that were sufficient enough to remove them from the battlefield and put them into the care coalition for the healing process to take place. Now, most of these guys are in the process of being retained on active duty, so they are healing well. The injuries aren't going to prevent them from doing their jobs. So we're looking forward to helping them speed that process along, and since they want to get back out there and do what they do best, and we like to push them out there and get them done.
Well, it seems like, too, bringing several wounded soldiers together through the process of healing and fishing is going to be complementary to each other. It's going to kind of help them all themselves because they're going to have someone to talk to, a peer to understand what they're going through.
The unique thing about Task Force Dagger, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization out of Plano, Texas, is that we deal specifically with the special operations forces. So I have 6 to 9 injured soldiers coming now. All of them will be coming from different organizations, different units, but in the process of the operations that they're conducting in Afghanistan and Iraq, they will have all worked cohesively on different missions. So while they're coming from different parts of America, from different military organizations, in the scope of the missions that Special Forces has, they've all supported each other in one style or another. So it's bringing the family together. It's going to be a great time. They're bringing their wives and their kids. It is a family event, and it's going to be open to the public so that the public can come out and say thank you to these guys and gals for the things that they're doing, so we can have the freedoms that we have.
Cool. When you talk about Special Forces people, and that's who this group is for.
That's correct.
What do Special Forces what do they do? I mean, a lot of people, you know, we think of the Navy and the Army, but there are special forces, and they're called on to do what?
They do special things.
Special things.
My first thought is Green Berets, you know, with
exactly.
John Wayne's type and
I am a
SEALs
retired
and things
Green
like
Beret.
that.
Yes, ma'am. I'm a retired Green Beret. The guys that run Task Force Dagger Foundation are retired Green Berets.
Okay.
The special forces within the Army contain several different units, and for security reasons, I really would not go into that. But I can tell you that the events that took place on a particular Sunday in the not-too-distant past are very typical of the missions that these guys have spent 10 years.
Now, are some of these missions never talked about or never made public?
Sooner or later, the missions
but
come out. But for the most part, we like to keep things that we do quiet. And there's a reason to do things that we do, and there's a reason that we don't talk about the things that we do. And so we don't get a lot of publicity for the things that we do, but it's better for.
Yeah, and I think I'm alluding to that because you guys and women too, they go into a special, I guess, mode or place where they do things, and they know that they're not going to have a ticker tape parade or any of that kind of stuff. So I mean, they do it for the love of their job and love of their country.
Exactly. These are the guys and gals that have that particular calling to do things that are just a little bit further out on the edge, to do them in a little bit more adrenaline flow environments. We call it high risk, high stress.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's a special breed of individual that would take that on. And one of the unique things about us is when we go and do the things that we have to do, it is with the understanding that it is for the betterment of the freedoms of America, and we are not really looking for any fame and fortune. We just have this call to do what needs to be done.
Because there's so many people that once they do something that's really wonderful and it's like, yes, I did this, you know, you want to go out and brag, and y'all are not able to do that. Those are things you have to keep quiet, where Americans, and well, not just Americans, but most people want to go out and brag and say, I did this. So it's sometimes to me, and the things that they would go through and the things they would see, it would be hard to try and keep quiet. And to me, this might be a way for them to share their experiences and help with the healing process.
For sure they'll get to talk to one another about the things that they've done and what's put them as part of our selected group. We probably won't do much talking about where they were or how they got hurt with the general public.
Their feelings.
But we do like to have the general public come out and fish with us and just, you know, have a hot dog. I have several activities that we are going to have open to the public. My guys and gals are flying in on Wednesday before Armed Forces Day weekend. It just happens to fall on Armed Forces Day weekend. I think that was kind of coincidental.
Yes.
But Thursday, on the 19th of May, we're going to go to the Ranger Boat Facility, get a full tour. We're going to meet Forrest L. Wood at the Ranger Boat Facility, and he's going to take us across the street into his museum, where we're going to get an opportunity to talk to him about how Ranger boats came about and how it's improved the area and what it's done for Flip-In and Mountain Home and Bull Shoals. When we get done there, we're going to go to the buffet lunch in Bull Shoals at the Village Wheel Restaurant. Now that is one of the places that you can come have lunch, meet the guys and the gals and their wives. They're throwing a special $10.99 lunch. I would encourage anybody that gets hungry in the middle of the day that's in and around Bull Shoals, that's the place to be on Thursday the 19th, 12 o'clock. From there, we're going to run up to the state park, to the Gaston's Visitor Center, and the park rangers have been nice enough to provide a 2.5-hour presentation on the ecosystems that were developed by the river system and the dams. So some of these guys that are coming have never fished before in their lives, and so we'll get an opportunity to show them the different species. We'll use the large aquariums. They'll get to watch the movie. We'll have a great view of the dam there at Bull Shoals, and the rangers do a really, really great job of explaining the process of how it got built, the ecosystems and stuff like that. Just about the time they understand how it got built, why it got built, we're going to go down to Charles Newland's resort, where he is going to be waiting for us with guides, and we're going to fish the White River Thursday afternoon, hoping to pull out fish in sufficient numbers to put into the frying pans that we're going to have on the griddle.
Well, that might be a high-stress operation if they don't catch us.
I think we might have a couple in the coolers. We might have a ringer or two.
We'll have a couple left over.
And that'll wrap Thursday up. So the time to see them on Thursday is either at the Gaston's Visitor Center or at the lunch that we're going to have at the Village Wheel. Friday, we're going to go to Norfolk, to the base of the dam in Norfolk where the fish hatchery is, the National Fish Hatchery. We will take a tour of the National Fish Hatchery at 8:30. After we're finished with the fish hatchery tour, we're going to go and fish Dry Run Creek. These guys are disabled to a certain extent, and we have permission to use the handicap platforms there on Dry Run. That is an excellent place to go trout fishing. I've been told that anybody can catch trout there if they hold their tongue right and put the right kind of wiggle in.
Have you been to Dry Run Creek?
I've been there. I've taken pictures for the.
It's beautiful down there.
They
very
have done a
relaxing.
Tremendous job. Absolutely.
Wonderful job.
So we're going to fish Dry Run Creek for half a day. We're going to have a little lunch, and then we're going to go across the parking lot, across the road to the quarry access point there at the base of the dam. And good Lord willing, and we don't get any more rain, we might be able to get the water shut down a little bit so that we can have a good time fishing there at the river itself. And that'll finish Friday during the day at Norfolk. That's where the public needs to be. If you want to come out, hang out with the guys and gals, come out. Bring your poles, bring your fishing licenses, come on out and show us how to fish, because most of us are learning to fish the area.
You'll probably end up catching more than everyone else.
It would be nice.
So that's the way
it actually would be nice.
They have to be teaching me
So
too.
Friday evening we have a very special event in Pontiac, Missouri. The Volunteer Fire Department in Pontiac is going to throw a spaghetti dinner, a benefits dinner with spaghetti, $7 at the door. So if you're in the northern part of Arkansas or the southern part of Missouri over by state line, come on in, 7 o'clock. The Volunteer Fire Department in Pontiac is the place to be.
That's nice.
Yeah, and they'll have time for fellowship. All of us will be available to talk to the general public, and we'll be able to, explain a little bit about what it is we do and how we got here. Saturday morning, we're going to go fishing on the Big Lake. We're going to go to Bull Shoals, and we're going to fish the Big Lake. Wow. My guys are going to go fishing, and I do have some families coming, so I have some young teenage boys that are going to go fishing with their dads. And while the guys are fishing, the girls are going to have a spa day in Mountain Home.
Oh,
boy.
Sponsored and paid for by the Fraternal Order of the Eagles Bingo Association.
That's awesome.
And donated time by Beauty Central and Looks Etc. So the
Good.
gals will be able to get their fingernails done, their toenails done, have the little do washed and set in preparation for the big kibosh, which is Saturday evening. But on Saturday afternoon, the guys are going to come off the water, and we're going to Fred's Ranch House at State Line for lunch. So another opportunity if you want to come out and meet the guys, talk a little bit of fishing, talk a little bit about this or that. Fred's Ranch House on State Line, Highway 5's place to be, 12 o'clock Saturday.
Nice.
Then Bull Shoals, the benefits dinner at the VFW. We have a very special program available for the public. Tickets are available at the door. It's open to the public. We encourage the entire community to come out. $12 a head, pulled pork dinner, all the fixins. But the special is we have speakers from World War II through all of the major conflict generations, to include a young cadet from the Navy Junior ROTC program that they have here at the high school.
That's nice.
The theme of the evening is Warriors of America, Connecting the Generations. So we'll have the whole spectrum of generational warriors, experiences from World War II, Korea, Vietnam. We have a period called the Tweeners, people that came in after Vietnam but before the big war in Afghanistan. And then, of course, one of the Wounded Warriors will speak, and the Junior ROTC individual. So it'll be a great time to come out. The doors open at 4:30. It's $12 a head. Dinner's served at 5:30. It's going to be more of a picnic style. It's not a fancy, formal dinner. Wear casual clothes. If you were in the service, we would like you to wear a hat that indicates what unit you were in.
Yeah.
And so it's fellowship. It's about family and fellowship and saying thank you to the folks that are doing what has to be done so that we can do the things that we would like to do.
That's nice. That's nice.
Wow.
So that's from Thursday to Saturday evening.
Thursday to Saturday evening. Sunday we have events on the lake, but they're close to the public. It's a time for the sponsors to come and get personal time with the guys that are visiting.
There's so much to do and so many different times to meet these service people. Do you have an agenda somewhere on a website?
Yes, we do. To find the agenda and get a schedule of itinerary, go to www.taskforcedagger.org. That's all one word, Task Force Dagger. Dagger is spelled D-A-G-G-E-R. If you have any particular questions, any individual details that you'd like to know about, the Task Force Dagger hotline in Mountain Home is 431-3922. 431-3922. And if you don't get an answer, we live in the holler, no cell coverage. It is a landline with an answering machine. We do have a large garden, so please leave your name and a phone number, and we'll be sure to call you right back.
Well, Jimbo, that sounds very, very nice, and it's a great addition to this area. And we highly encourage people to come out and pay.
We would like to see the public at large.
Yeah.
If any people ask, what can we do to help? We always take donations. We're always looking for donations to put forward other adventures. We do scuba adventures, we do fishing adventures with Wounded Warriors.
That's nice.
So there's always an opportunity to leave a donation at the website, at the PayPal button.
Okay.
But for Mountain Home people, what we really would like to ask you to do is take a little bit of your time and a little bit of your energy and come out and meet these guys and their families. The families are the unsung heroes. You know, everybody knows about the Special Forces guys and their secret, and they leave in the dark and they come home. And nobody ever thinks about the wife and kids. The wife is agreed to live the lifestyle that we live. She's agreed to put up with the being gone for unknown lengths of time in unknown places, doing unknown things. And sometimes when the guys come home, they bring home things that the family never prepared for. So the wife and the families are the really part of the central focus of this event. We'd like to have other families come and just meet the guys and gals that live the life that we like.
Good. Very nice. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much for having me.
We appreciate you being here to bring this to our viewers, and hopefully they'll come out in numbers.
Please come out and see us, Mountain Home.
Thanks so much, Jimbo.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Up next, we're going to be talking with Lindsay and Sarah about the truck patch, and they brought a huge cooler, and I'm afraid to look inside, but we'll find out in just a few minutes. Stay with us.